All right, here's a good limiting reactant question. Let's balance the equation first. Let's make it a bit bigger so I can see it. Three hydrogens. We probably need to go to 6, eh? Let's put a 3 there. And then that gives me 4 oxygens on this side, so I put a 2 there. Oh, and I need a 2 there. Well, that's going to mess that one up. So I need a 2 there. But now I got 5 oxygens. Oh, let's double everything. Okay. Double, so let's go 4. That gives me 12 hydrogens, so I need a 6 there. And 4 nitrogens. So that's 6 plus 4 is 10, so I need 5 oxygens. Oh. 5 oxygens. Okay, so they say how many grams of NO are produced? So I want to know the mass there. When I have 4 moles of this and 20 moles of oxygen. So it's not a normal stoich because they give me too much information. They give me information about both of the reactants. So I need to find out which one, when you have a chemical reaction, gets used up first. So the first step in doing any limited reactant is find out how many moles of each they have. This one already is in moles, and so that first step is done. But if they were to give you mass or a concentration in a volume or something, you'd need to use formulas to first figure out moles. Now that you have the moles, then what I do is I just do a scenario and say, well, if I have 4.00 moles of ammonia, my question is, how many moles of oxygen would I need? And I'm going to pretend that I don't know this number here. Okay, so I can do that just using the mole ratio from my balanced chemical equation up here. Okay, so moles of ammonia go on the bottom, 4 moles of ammonia, and it reacts with 5 moles of oxygen. Okay, so that's the ratio. If you multiply and divide, that's 20 divided by 4 is 5. So if I have 4 moles of ammonia, which I do, it requires 5 moles of oxygen. But how many moles of oxygen do I have? I've got 20 moles. So if I have 20 moles of oxygen, I only need 5 of that. And so oxygen, I got too much. I got tons of it. Therefore, the limiting reagent is ammonia. That'll be my limiting reagent. So once I've figured out which is my limiting reagent, let me go down and get rid of this stuff here. Once I know my limiting reagent, now I can do the stoich, and I forget about the oxygen for now. So all I want to do is go, they say how many grams of nitrogen oxide are produced. So I'm starting here. That'll be my NH3 side. And then they want me to go to mass of nitrogen oxide. So mass will be up at Solidsville there. And this is my NO side. Okay, so I just need to do one step to cross the river and then one step to get up to there. Okay, so all that stuff I did at the top there was just to determine the limiting reactant. So now I'm going to take my moles of ammonia, should be a little n, and I'm going to convert that to moles of nitrogen oxide. So I have 4 moles, and you can probably see it already, 4 moles of ammonia multiplied by, okay, the mole ratio is 4 moles of ammonia and 4 moles of nitrogen oxide. So, of course, it's a 4 to 4 or 1 to 1 relationship. So I need 4 moles of nitrogen oxide. That'll be what gets produced. Now I've got to convert that to grams. So I'm going to take my moles of nitrogen oxide and I'll convert that to mass of nitrogen oxide. Okay, here's my formula, mass over molar mass. So, oh no, yeah, I'm looking for mass. Mass is equal to moles times molar mass. The moles are 4 moles times the molar mass of nitrogen oxide. Okay, nitrogen is 14 even, and oxygen is 16. Not 14 even, 14.01, I think. So it's 30.01. Okay, multiply those, I get 120.04 for 3 sig figs probably. Yeah, 3 sig figs. So my answer would be 120 grams of nitrogen oxide. One other thing I wanted to mention about in this question, if I go up to the top part there again, this step here, I'll do it in green, this step here was to determine how much oxygen you would need if I used up all my ammonia. I came out to 5. When I compared that with the original amount that's in the tank is 20, I could see that oxygen, I have plenty of it. But a question that I could ask is I could say, well, how much extra would you have? So this step here says to use up all your ammonia, you're going to use up 5 moles of oxygen. So if I want to know how much is in excess, I would just take however many I have, 20.0, and subtract the 5.00. And so in the end, I'm going to have 15 moles of oxygen left over, not used. And you could figure out what that is in grams if you want. You could also, if you knew the pressure and temperature, you could figure out what volume of oxygen that is. But I just thought I'd throw in that excess.